Started already.
That's so true, man. He's right. Man, that's my favorite.
All right, we live.
Courtesy of Bawl Sports.com, Stitcher.com, iTunes, where you subscribe to this lovely, wonderful podcast for free. Tune in media for your mobile devices and Google Play Pod to the cast. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the show that we so lovingly call Bawl on Bulls. The show totally, utterly, and foreverly dedicated to the Chicago Bulls and NBA talk. I'm Big Dave.
I am C-Dub.
What up?
What's up?
We about to go on a run with these shows, bro. We about to start cranking them out. This is like week one of the crank out.
It's a fast break going on.
It's a fast break.
Now, who's running the break? Is there's a
you're running the break.
I'm running the break.
Oh, you're running the break.
Oh, okay.
You the point guard. Bro.
I'm the point guard.
Oh,
okay.
I'm on the wing. I'm alone, bro. No.
He's a big ass in the hole. And
Oh, yes, sir. I'll be there.
All right.
But I tell you what, you know you better kick it out to me when I'm behind the 3-point line. You know you better give me that three. You know I'm gonna hit that shit, Chris. You seen it.
Yeah, I know. I seen it.
You know I'm gonna hit that shit.
You won that game of horse. Yeah.
I did with it. Not even warmed up. I didn't even warm up. I warmed up for the first game, which was a loss when I got an HOR. But when I was like running back, I knew I was ready. And when I told him I won, remember I looked at him and I said, glass. Get that shit off the glass. The game was over. The greatest horse victory in the history of horse. I remember it clearly. D-Jack don't want to talk about it.
No, you don't want to talk about it.
Shout out to D-Jack. But today, we have a wonderful guest with us. You all heard him. He was the rookie of the year for our show last year. So, of course, if he is the rookie of the year, he's got to come on year two and do it even bigger and better. As we know he can. From according to sources, our friend and yours, I got Dre. What's up, bro?
What's going on?
How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm nice and relaxed.
Yes, sir.
I'm ready.
Have you received your Rookie of the Year trophy yet in the mail?
No, I don't know. Did you guys receive your?
Well, I keep texting FedEx. They still it's like held up in Iowa or something. I don't know what's
Is that where it's at?
How the hell do you? I don't even go to Iowa when I'm coming from Chicago to go to Georgia.
That's what we say.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know.
Ain't that crazy?
It's crazy, man. It'll get there someday, man.
You know what y'all fantasy football trophy is?
That's what I was Dre, that's what I was gonna say, Dre. I was about to say that too, man. Get out my head. That's exactly what I was about to say.
Somewhere in Iowa, I suppose.
The same place our trophy is, brother. Somewhere in Iowa. Because we were the fantasy football champions of 2017 of the Twitter thread Ball Sports for the first time ever. First time in their rookie season and we champions. Just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, that was a little too easy.
Was that your first time playing fantasy football? That's your first time fantasy ever. Like you never did it before.
I was trying so hard.
Oh my god, man! That's
boring actually. You know what I'm saying?
Make it difficult for some reason.
I don't know. I don't get it.
Hey, that was a great job you getting Tariq Cohen. That's the last pick.
Thank you so much.
The very last pick of the draft.
People spend hours thinking about making decisions. Just to get
we spent about 5 minutes on a Saturday.
And then watch the Bulls game.
Yeah, and then watch the Bulls game and eat some pizza.
y'all really just got lucky that I don't play fantasy.
Oh, is that what it was? Is that what it was?
I didn't play either, but I won when I played.
So. Me too. I just decided to Costanza and I ended it out. I left on top.
Yeah.
Hey, that's it. I'm out.
I'm debating retirement right now, man. Trust me.
He said he dropped the Costanza on this. That's it. I'm out. Thank you.
I beat everybody at the University of Illinois. That's how crazy that one was. I was like, you know what? I ain't never gonna be better than this. How am I gonna top this? I'm out.
You back on top?
But don't worry, we'll be back again next year to do it again. You know what I'm saying? We just appreciate, winning. That's all we appreciate. That's all we know. Right now, that's all we know.
We're gonna lose every game next year.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Every single.
I don't know what he's talking about. See, if you got that mindset, you might as well get off.
You know what? I'm joking.
I know you are. No, I know you are.
9 straight or something? We win.
Yeah, we went what 8-1 since over that. Because we started off 2-4.
Yeah,
and then we just went like 8-1.
Half our team was injured. Dave did an excellent job picking teams. I appreciate picking the players.
Yeah, I did my best. We lost David Johnson. He was our number one pick. We lost the number one pick. Yeah. And we still came in there. And I was like, oh, you know who's good? Alvin Kamara. That guy's pretty good.
There you go.
Hey, Kenyon Drake. Yeah, that guy's pretty solid. Let's get him in there and play some games. Tariq Cohen, you know what? He's doing things.
Yeah.
He's doing things.
5 straight minutes of you guys patting each other.
I'm sorry, Dre.
Sorry, we haven't done this yet.
No.
We honestly have not discussed this and gotten out our full greatness. Yeah. So we apologize for, for our braggadociousness right now. We only got it out on Twitter with y'all because, I talk plenty of shit on Twitter.
I'm pretty sure you do.
Definitely did. Like 7 straight days, man.
I said something last week, Doug. I said just a friendly reminder when we are the 2017 champions of fantasy football. I was talking shit last week. Yeah.
Y'all on there liking the comment. I'm like, I don't want to see this shit. I wasn't even part of the loss, and I don't want to see this shit. Y'all know
It's all right, Jay. We appreciate your love and kindness, man. We really do. We really do.
Anytime.
Thank you, sir. But since you're here, we are talking about the Chicago Bulls, who are still sucking, who are still tanking right now, who are still not a good basketball team. So I don't know why all these fans out here acting like they are, and they really pissing me off.
Who?
Listen, let me get into it then, because I was going to ask him. Fuck it, I'll get into it. I am sick and tired of a section. I'm not going to say all Bulls fans, but there are Bulls fans acting like this team is good or supposed to be good when they're analyzing them. When they show things on the court that they're doing, and they're like, oh, look at that. Those guys, this is just one of the most horrific defensive sequences that I've seen. Yeah, they won 20 games. What do you think? They're terrible. Yes, we know this. You're not telling me nothing new. Yeah. If you're going to show me some level of bad, show me a level of bad that's new. Like when I saw Cameron Payne in the summer league. Yeah. That was a new level of bad. Yeah. Okay? Show me a new level. I know they're bad on defense. Zach LaVine knows he's bad on defense. Yeah. We get this.
Bad on defense last year.
Come on. He know it. We all know this. He's not there for that. You know what I'm saying? So I have an issue, and it's just been really bothering me hearing these Bulls fans have these discussions about this team, like they're 40-22 instead of like 22-40. You know what I'm saying? Like, they need to start so-and-so. That'd be better. Go ahead, Dre.
Do these guys not realize that they're trying to lose games?
Come on, say it.
They don't realize they're trying. Garpax has literally told their coach, lose. We need you to lose. We need you to lose so much so that we're going to stop you from playing players that we think are going to help you win.
Right.
They're trying to lose. Like, you just got to be willing to accept the losing. It's all going to work out in the benefit in the future, but you got to be able to accept losing in the present. Like, get off of that. This isn't a good team. They have some talent, but that's about it.
This
is not bad. They're trying to lose. They're trying to lose so bad that they didn't even start Grant on the team. That's how bad they're trying to lose. He's too good for the team.
Go ahead. Imagine that.
Sit down. No, we don't need your 10-point Grant. No, we don't need you, son. Sit down. Cool off a little bit, but you're hot. Sit down.
Jerry and Grant
can't even get on the court.
Jerry and Grant, ladies and gentlemen. And they're out here like, oh, man, this Bulls team. Like, they're saying analysis about a bad team that you know is bad. It's like calling a girl that is incredible. It's like telling Lupita Nyong'o every single day that she's beautiful. Yeah. We get that. We got eyes. I see it. When I look at her, I'm like, yeah, she's fine. I seen tit. I was at Wakanda. I was there. I know how fast she is. Come on now. I was there twice. I got it on bootleg, though. I do got the bootleg joint. I'll be watching all the time. But I paid for it, and I'm going to pay for it again. So I'll get my 3-time in. And then we're going to have that discussion on Bawl.
Oh, yeah.
But I know how fine she is. I don't need somebody on the outside to continue to validate it. It gets old after that. And even she would be like, okay, now it's creepy. You know what I'm saying? We get it.
Talk about something else.
Yeah, can we move on? Do you like music? You know what I'm saying? She would move on. Move on. We suck, and we're trying to suck. The things that are bad about the team are bad about the team.
And one thing.
I'd rather talk about the individual players and what they need to do to get better.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Chris.
No, Dre, you gonna say something?
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, Dre and I were talking before the show that the difference, like, I enjoyed watching this team trying to lose early in the season when they were playing Lopez and Holiday and Grant. They're not fun anymore to watch after the All-Star break because Lopez is not playing.
Guess why?
And Dunn got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And Lopez not playing that well.
Yeah.
And no one, and they're trying to lose.
Come on! Just say that. Yes.
No, I appreciate it, but I still watch the games.
Yes.
But with Lopez down the game, it's just not fun to watch lose. It's not fun to watch lose. Like it's just
I
like that was more torture.
I got you. Dre, how do you feel about that? You feel it was more torture to watch the team after the All-Star break, or was it about the same for you?
It's really, like you said, we were talking about it before we started the pod. I'm really just interested to see how these guys figure out how to play together because they are the nucleus. Dunn, Levine, Markkanen. Those three guys are going to be around for the foreseeable future, right? So we have to figure out how they're going to gel. There's been good games like Memphis. Memphis, like I said, that was like the perfect example of what you would want those three guys to accomplish. I think what did Levine have 21 points and like 5 assists. I think Dunn had 20 plus and 9 or 8 assists, and I think Markkanen had like 22 or something like that. It was a perfect storm of chemistry, and I'm able to see that, even though there's a bunch of garbage surrounding it. Like, yeah, they're terrible. This team is awful. It lacks talent all over the place. But I'm really focusing in on when those three guys are on the floor, how are they playing together? That's the only thing that matters to me at this point. I want them three to play well, but then I want the Bulls to lose. Lose. Play Cameron Payne as much as you can.
Campaign. Get him in the game.
I like how they got blown out by like 20 points, and he had like 11 points, and Stacey King was praising him. Like he's 6'7" from the field. I'm like, yeah, and doesn't matter. You gotta talk about something, though.
Right.
You gotta talk about something though in the game.
He's got a green light. I mean, he can do whatever he wants.
Now you mentioned Dre. You mentioned Dunn and Levine playing well together.
Yeah. How
do you see this working out in the future? Now, do you think they are they the cornerstones? Do you see this team, them two, and I'm assuming you're including Larry in this, as the cornerstones of the team, and Lara and Levine are done? Like, who's gonna be the guy? Like, is there an issue with them? How do you play together, scoring, passing, leader of the team?
There's definitely going to be some bumping of the heads to figure out which one of them is better. I think I don't know which one of them is better, to be honest with you, because like Dunn brings so many good things off defensively. Offensively, not so much. He's still kind of a liability offensively because sometimes he doesn't finish at the rim as well as you would like him to. He can't shoot all that well. Those types of problems, but it's like the exact opposite for Zach LaVine. He's a really, really good offensive player when he's going, and he brings absolutely nothing defensively. So I don't know which one of them is going to be able to fix their deficiencies to shore that up and take a step ahead. If neither one of them do, then Markkanen is the guy. He's going to be the main person, which is going to be, I think, a little bit more difficult for the Bulls because the game today isn't fit for a power forward to be your best player. We're hoping that one of these perimeter players can be your best players. Like neither one of these guys, like Markkanen is good, but he's not like a dominant. Like Joel Embiid can be the best player on your team.
Right.
Hassan Whiteside can't. So I don't think we can be good enough. Like the same problem when we had Jimmy. Like Jimmy is good enough to be an okay team. And I don't know how good Markkanen can be in the future, but it's going to be very difficult for him to be our best player from that position. So I'm hoping that one of those two guys can figure it out. I'm not sure which one it's going to be honest with you. What do you think?
I'm glad Dub said this because that's the topic I wanted to discuss. There was an article written by Vince Goodwill about this. The Bulls were trying to. He talked to Zach LaVine and Chris Dunn about who's going to take over this team, who's going to be the dominant player. And what was said was there's a conflict going on right now between the team, and there's a conflict about who's going to be number one. They said that basically both of them said the same thing. We're cool with each other, but we know there's a storm coming because I want to be the man and he want to be the man. This is me paraphrasing right now. But both of them want to be the guy. And both of them want to be the one to stand on top. I mean, Chris Dunn in that article said you can't be friends with everybody. So it's like he's setting himself up because he wants to be the guy. He wants to be the leader of that. My entire problem with all this is what you said, Dre. I don't think either one of them is the guy. I think the guy is Lauri Markkanen. I think I've been watching and seeing from Lauri Markkanen tells me he's the guy. From the fact that he is humble enough to say, go ahead and shoot the basketball. I'm gonna go ahead and get these rebounds. I mean, lets me know he's the guy.
That is an awesome thing about him as like a character, as a teammate. But it also shows is how messed up they are as teammates, because they can't see that if you're trying to win, this guy is probably your best bet of doing it. Like they have not figured that out yet.
But see, Dre, that's the rest of my point right there. Is even though they haven't figured that out, the only reason Lauri Markkanen feels this way and that he's doing this is because he's a rookie.
Yeah.
This is his first year in the NBA. Okay. He is going to defer to people who have been in the league longer than him. I watched him all season. He deferred to Robin Lopez. Mm-hmm. He deferred to Justin Holiday. He deferred to Chris Dunn. He deferred to whoever was ahead of him on the court. He never carried himself as a dude like, I'm the man, give me the basketball. That comes with time. But
everybody did. That's the crazy part.
Right.
Everybody.
But everybody can see it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can see that he needs a basketball in his hand. What? And the only reason he's deferred and the only reason he stopped is because he is a 20-year-old, 21-year-old rookie. That's all that is in there. It's nothing else to it. After he gets a year or two, I'm going to say a year or two, maybe not next year, maybe another year, a year or two under his belt, realizing that I'm better than everybody on the basketball court, you're going to see him dominate. Because I've seen games, you've seen them, games where he is dominated, where he has been the best player on the court.
And I don't know if we talked about this.
Yes.
The thing that's most important, like the impressive about him, and I did not think this was what he was going to be able to do, he rebounds the ball extremely well for a guy his size. Like, he's frail as hell. He's not a big, tough dude.
But he's strong.
He's strong, apparently.
He's cut. Yeah, he got some definition.
Apparently he's strong as hell. He doesn't look it, but apparently he is, because he gets way more rebounds than I would have thought he'd do in the NBA. Because in college he wasn't a big rebounder like that, but he came in the NBA, and he's impressive. He is certainly impressive.
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah. I hear a lot of like I'll give you, Dave. Like I said it before, like I see something. He obviously is still in his high, and I'm like, man, it seems like next year's the year when he goes, okay, I'm taking my shots.
Right.
This year it seems like he's not doing that. My only slight problem is that you're on a team with 20 wins. He's a rookie. You have the coach. Everyone is telling you. I'm pretty sure John Paxson, coaching staff, her office don't care if he throws a lot of shots. They shouldn't care, right? So I want to know, is he going to continue to acquiesce to the veterans going forward in the season? Or is he going to say, you know what? We're winning 20 games. Why not take a lot of the shots? Why defer to these veteran guys? When here's your chance to John Paxson on the radio shows and all this kind of stuff is telling the world, I want to see these guys can play. Well, he's telling it's a showcase, right? So like I want to see a game. I want to see games where I see the marketing trying to showcase his skills. And I have not seen that quite yet. And I do think you're right that some of it is deferring to the veteran guys who've done before. But he has the license. I have to believe he has the license to, like, okay, I'm throwing 20 shots this game to see if I drop 30 points. Right. Am I wrong to Dre this? Is he deferring too much? Or should he be like, I'm going to lose a team. Here's my chance to showcase what I can do and practice and get all my kinks out early in my first year to lose a team, and next year they'll step it up.
I do think he's probably deferring too much, but it is an age thing. Like, I don't think he knows how to come in and just take over like that. I don't know, like that's something that he's aware that he should be doing at this point, because like you say, he is a rookie. And he does have, like, he did have his rookie wall where he wasn't playing well, doesn't, still trying to figure things out. There's a lot of that going on, with him. So, I would love to see him do a lot more. I would love to see them do a lot more for him, but that's not happening. So maybe he does need to go out there and take a whole bunch of shots one game, to take 25 shots. Has he ever taken 25 shots in a game?
That's you know what? I'm going to say no. I'm going to go on a limb and say he's never taken 25. I'm going to say he's taken 20, but I don't think he's taken 25. Watching him play, Dre, and I have to say this every time we talk about Lauri Markkanen. This is a guy who, when he got drafted, Chris and I were not excited about. No. When we first saw him come in. We were not excited about this dude until we watched the tape. And I say that all the time. And I said that a million times when they got him. I said, well, we got to watch the tape first. When I watched the tape, I said, okay, he can at least play. But then I saw him in Summer League, and he was better than what I saw on tape. And I was like, wait, he's 20 and 10? I didn't see 20 and 10 on the tape. He's 20 and 10. I was like, he can get you 20 and 10, and he ain't scared. He ain't scared of none of y'all.
Not scared.
He coming out here to play. Yeah, he's not terrified of nobody out there. And so when I saw that going on in the Summer League, and he started doing that throughout the season, I was like, this is our guy. This is the one you need. And when he did it in Madison Square Garden, because I still hold that place high. When you ball in Madison Square Garden,
he did it against KP. Something.
Right. And he did it against his guy more than once.
Yeah.
Chris and I were at the game when they played the Knicks.
Yeah.
And the Knicks lost by 2 on the Porzingis shot at the end. They lost. But Lauri Markkanen was balling that game. So was Porzingis. He was great.
Yeah, Porzingis was too. He had like 38 or something like that, didn't he?
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I like cats who understand the situation. You know what I'm saying? That's stuff that greats do. Greats always understand the situation that they're in, and so they know what level they need to perform to.
Well, it's not great yet, but he can't.
No, I said he understands greatness.
He understands.
He gets it. He ain't there, Chris, in his skill. No. Yeah. I'm not saying that. Okay. I'm saying he understands what it is. Mentally, he gets it.
Well,
he realized who he was going up against and where and how he needed to perform.
Correct.
And didn't back down.
Correct. And didn't back down. Correct.
Yes, accepted the spotlight.
Yes, Dre. Absolutely right.
What I do, every time, this is my personal thing. When I hear like Stacey King, he says a lot. Guys gotta get him involved in the game. Guys gotta get him more involved and get more shots. I worry when I hear that a little bit. So I'm like, if he's good. Like this rookie year now, fine. But like, if he's a great player, you don't need to like struggle to get him his own shots. They're there.
That's one of the things that I was mentioning when I was saying that, like, about him being the best player from that position. Mm-hmm. Generally, power forwards and centers need someone else to get them the ball. That's why it's difficult for them to be the best players on the team. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're waiting on someone to give you the ball. Now, maybe he is one of those guys that could just get the ball, bring it up court. He's just like Dirk. Dirk could do anything when Dirk was Dirk. Maybe he is one of those guys, and we just have to wait and see how he develops, because he's I didn't think he was this athletic either. He's an athletic dude.
Yeah, he's much more athletic than I give him credit for. Definitely.
Maybe he'll be one of those guys. He's going to be able to do whatever he wants to do because he has the skill set. The skill set is definitely there. I just think he needs a little bit more assertiveness, and like you said, that with more age and like another year, he sees what he can do. He's seen himself go off in the NBA. Maybe another year will give him a little bit more confidence to do it more often.
Yeah,
agreed.
Has he been the player that you've been most impressed with, or is there somebody else on the team this year that you've been more impressed with?
Who's saying? The Bulls team?
Yes, sir.
You talking about the Bulls?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, because you were talking about impressive. Right? Nobody impressive.
Yeah. You can't give Chris Dunn no love. Chris Dunn's been impressive.
I like Chris Dunn, but I expected some of what he's doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, some of what he's doing is things I kind of expected from him his rookie year.
Yes.
So this isn't like it didn't come as a surprise. The things that I'm seeing from Lauri, some of it is a surprise to me. So he's definitely been. It's him. It's him for sure.
It's terrifying how much me and you think alike. Like, word for word, he just said what I said. Like, literally, word for word, I have said that same exact.
Yeah.
That is terrifying. That's terrifying. But
yeah, great minds and things like that.
Come on now, come on with it. That's our guy Dre, according to sources. Ball on Bulls, Big Dave, C-Dub. Chris, you wanted to add something to it?
Oh no, go ahead. No.
I wanted to talk about something that Chris and I pretty much disagree on, and that's the NBA stepping in on the Bulls tanking plans. Dre, as you probably know, the NBA stepped in on the Bulls and told them they needed to play their starters a little more because basically the team was looking bad to them. What are your feelings on that? Do you feel the NBA had a right to do that? And do you feel like it was okay for them to do? Do you feel like it was not okay for them to do?
But last year the Suns are really like why this happened, because they were trash and they were trying to be even more trash than they actually are. They were last year. So like I understand where the NBA is coming from. On one hand, I'm like, the Bulls should be able to play whoever they want, however they want. But it does look bad when guys are healthy and you're just like, no, we're not playing them because we want to lose because it's the last year we could do this, so we're trying to lose.
They didn't want to come off the bench. They wanted to start. They wanted to be starters.
Sure, you can say that, but it just, I mean, like I
don't know what you mean, Dre. I don't know what you mean, Dre.
You can always find a way around these rules, but it looks bad. I understand both sides of it, but it does look bad when Robin Lopez is completely healthy. He's never been a locker room problem, and now all of a sudden he's just like, screw this, I'm not playing if I'm not starting.
Hey, that's because of those crazy T-shirts that he wears. It's throwing us off on the team. I don't know. I mean, it's throwing us off. He needed some time off.
He's allergic to second quarter.
That's it. It made him have a runny nose. It made him have a runny nose of him playing that long. I think it was completely ridiculous. I still do. I think it was completely ridiculous that the NBA stepped in on them and had anything to say about what the Bulls are doing. If they stepped in on a team that was like that won 8 games, a team that had not won at least 7 games in a row, a team that actually looked like they weren't trying to win, then I would be totally fine with it. But they stepped in on a team that did all that, a team that actually came out there and was beating cats to the point people were like, man, these Bulls might actually make the playoffs. People actually saying this crap.
Yeah,
we know what's true. I
like how your words was in the past tense. Was.
Yeah.
Lopez is not playing anymore.
Did he play yesterday? Did he play yesterday?
Yes, he had to.
But
he had to.
And how did that help? How did it help? How did having Lopez come out here and play during that help?
I don't understand the argument. Help what?
Help the NBA, because they say you got to play your starters. That was stopping the Bulls from being bad. They were still bad.
If it was up to the NBA, he would have played more. That's the point.
No, the point is they said they told them you got to play
right, because they have to have standards.
That's silly.
They owe something to the fan. You can't have
But you didn't help nothing by saying
what it's about. It's about the standards.
But having the rules next year, though. That's the point. They want to stop this. And
excuse me,
they talked about it early in the year, and you just sit out.
They talked about it last year.
You can still lose, but you can do it in a different way.
I'm sorry. Excuse me, Dre.
Huh? Like they have the right to, because he's the commissioner. They can do what they want to do.
No, but it didn't help anything. They shot 38% from the field. They were terrible yesterday.
I took a sip of water and I missed Lopez. I didn't know he played yesterday.
That's my point.
That's their point.
I think that's their point.
That's their point.
No, that's my
point. Played, it did not matter. Just playing.
You just told me they're a playoff team.
But they didn't. No, I didn't say they were a playoff team. I said, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're better than that. You're better than that.
I want to get Dave up real quick. Honestly.
You're better than that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, you don't want to get me riled up. You know it. But no, absolutely not. They knew they were not a playoff team. They came out there and they played the starters like they said, and it made it look even worse, and it made it look even phonier.
Well, we didn't play in 2 weeks.
They played 12 minutes. And listen, they played 12 minutes, and he had a great first quarter. He had a really great 12 minutes.
But that's so hard.
Yes, it was hard. Because what did it help? They shot 38% from the field. They were still terrible.
That's one game. And what would have happened if they would never start sitting him, though?
What would have happened?
Would it still losing? Would it still
yes,
losing?
they still losing. They
okay, that's all they asked
so
them to do.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. They're saying it didn't matter if he was playing or if he wasn't playing. So if it doesn't matter either way, just play him.
No,
you can't choose teams. You can't have one team sit the whole style up and one team don't do it.
I didn't see the NBA calling in saying play Omir Sheik because he hasn't played since he got here. Omir Sheik ain't played since he got
because
here.
He's sick and learns the basketball. Anemic or something.
Was he anemic to that $23 million that he got for that?
Would you be anemic to $23 million?
I'll be anemic to whatever they say I'm anemic to for $23 million. But listen, he ain't played, man, and the NBA didn't come out saying playing him. They made it seem like Robin Lopez and Justin Holiday
all year.
was the reason. Drake. They made it seem like
ain't good enough to play.
They made it seem like Robin Lopez and Justin Holiday are the reason that the Bulls weren't playing good basketball.
No, I don't think that's what they're
overstepping that. That's how they made it seem.
They have rules. They have you cannot just overtly.
It wasn't overt.
It was. We see healthy people like that.
Were they terrible without him? Were they terrible with?
That's the point. Just don't over the rule. You have rules. You have standards.
But if I don't want to play you tonight,
you guys a little too far. That's
if I don't want to play you tonight, why you gotta come out here like you better play you?
Because they're trying to stop the city thing. Like,
but I don't want to play you. Like that could be a coach's decision. Like you can't.
Everything's a coach's decision.
It is a coach.
You know what rules the coach? The commissioner overrules the coach.
Yeah, but it's not a coach's decision though. It's a organizational decision. That they believe these guys can help them win games, and they don't want them to do that. Like it's very obvious that's what they're doing.
By day, and they know that, but they're like, "Dude, you're going too far." That's what they're saying.
It's a bull. They weren't going too far.
They were. I don't see how he didn't play like 2 weeks.
I don't see how it's going too far at all. I mean, because you act like Robin Lopez was the reason. Saying playing Robin Lopez and
the focus on the Bulls. The focus on the Bulls.
It's silly.
It's league wide. They don't want the league to stop.
Yeah, it's the league thing. I mean, blame the Suns for sitting their whole starting lineup trying to lose games.
I'm still blaming the league. Listen, we didn't sit our starting lineup. We sat 2 guys. Who are just guys?
I mean,
we didn't sit Lloyd Marketing. We didn't sit a rookie that we think can be the best player on the team. We didn't sit Zach LaVine, who was coming off a knee injury. We didn't sit Chris Dunn, a dude who got injured, but we played him all season long regardless. The Bulls didn't sit here and try to not play players that didn't want to play.
Starting Cameron Payne.
They sat 2 dudes.
You're starting Cameron Payne. He wasn't starting. I don't care. He didn't start.
He played too many goddamn minutes.
Too many minutes. Whatever. It's too much of Cameron Payne.
This is none of the NBA's been. The NBA is wrong.
They're wrong.
They're wrong.
We don't want them to lose, Dave.
The NBA is wrong. No, they're not. Yes, they are.
Because they're the NBA. They can say what they want to say.
They're saying they're doing it to them. They're going to force them to do it. They're forcing them to do it.
They're the league. They can do that.
Yeah, I mean, they have a rule in place, so they can kind of,
it's like I'm the law and don't do this. Okay.
So what? When you do it, we're gonna.
Sorry, what's the rule? I might not know the rule. What's the rule?
That's what. Tell me the rule. When Superman says play somebody, you're.
That's not a rule.
You're egregiously.
That's not a rule.
No, you're egregiously.
That's not a rule.
Can I finish? No more. It is the rule because you can do that.
It's not. But go ahead.
He made him do it.
It's not a rule. No, they did it because they backed down. They didn't do it because it's a rule.
Because it would get fined.
No, they did it because he didn't say they were going to fine them. He didn't say that. They backed down from it.
The point they did it.
But that make it a rule.
They backed down for a reason.
That don't make it a rule. That don't make it a rule.
Well, it's going to be a rule.
Well, gonna be and is are two different things.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. But he has the right to do that.
Tell me what is.
He has
Tell
the right
me
to
what
do that.
is.
I believe you can.
I guess this
I mean, the rule in the NBA is you egregiously cannot see healthy players on a regular basis. You can't do that.
Go ahead, Dre.
Yeah, I believe that's what the rule is. You can't just sit players when they're healthy. They're trying to get rid of that. They don't want that anymore, especially when it applies to tanking. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna need assurance.
No, that's the rule. That's the rule.
No, I'm gonna need assurance.
I think Greg Popovich made up injuries. He made up injuries.
He still does.
I don't think the Bulls didn't make up any injuries.
They were a healthy stretch.
What are you talking about? He still makes some injuries.
Which is okay. At least he does that.
Y'all love Greg Popovich.
At least he does that.
Great Greg.
At least he does that.
He takes that extra step.
Didn't have the courtesy to make an injury, dude.
Yeah, he healthy. We just don't want to play him because he may or may not influence a win.
And look, they may or may not. We don't know, but we know we don't want to play him tonight because we wanted to see somebody different. He wanted to see Felicio. They paid Felicio $32 million. They want to know if he can play.
I'm sure Lopez wants to play too.
I'm sure. Listen,
okay, so he didn't represent the league, the team, the fans, and the players.
I'm sure Lopez wants to play.
So he has to.
But there's nothing wrong with playing a dude you paid $32 million to over 4 years, getting a start over him, and especially when Robin Lopez is not a dude who is going to impact anything on your team.
There is a reason why you don't want to see Felicio play, because he is the power forward version of Cameron Payne. if he's the tank general, if Cameron Payne is the tank general, Felicio is the tank lieutenant. That's why it was very obvious when they decided to take Robin Lopez out and play Felicio more, that it was all about, it ain't about trying to see what Felicio got. We know what he has. You gave him that money because you thought he had it, and then you figured out that he didn't.
But when does he play? When have you seen him get out there and actually show the skill?
Never. That's why he shouldn't have got $32 million.
But
that's the point.
Dude, if I pay you $32 million, I want to see you out there. I want to see what you can do.
I would love to have
seen on a team where I know that you ain't winning.
He was not good enough to be out there when they were trying. And that's why they didn't play him. But now they want to play him because they think, he's garbage. And he's going to help them lose games.
Is Felicio trash or not, Dave?
Is Felicio trash?
Yes.
Please tell the truth.
Basically, you're saying
I don't want to hear your Obama.
That's what you're saying.
I'm saying no. That's not what I said.
I want you to
let me say what I said. Get out of here, Tom Cruise. Look at Tom Cruise.
Tell the truth.
You can't handle that child. Felicio, they wanted to know themselves if he could play at that level in the NBA. They paid him $32 million. They gave him 32 million reasons to get on the basketball court. That was their fault.
Well,
absolutely, it was their fault.
We know he's not good enough to play. Everybody knew it.
Can we see if he's good or not? That's not their fault to say, is he good or not?
Is he trash or not, Dave?
Of course
that's really the question. Okay, that's why they want to play him, because he's trash.
That's not their fault to see if he is or not. But how did I gave you money?
That's why he's playing, because he's trash.
We didn't pay him because
he's not playing because he's trash.
They didn't pay him $32 million to be trash.
Is he not playing right now because he's trash?
He's playing because he's
trash.
A dude in front of him is better. A guy in front of him is better.
The guy in front of him is better. Who is the guy in front of him?
Robin Lopez.
Okay.
Robin Lopez in front of him is better.
That's why the league told the Bulls to get this shit together.
No, it's not. Because they saw that their team, listen, the Bulls realized they weren't making the playoffs. They did what other teams do when you're getting blown out by 40. You bring in the bench. But that's all they did was bring in the bench. What's wrong with bringing in the bench?
At the beginning of the game?
What's wrong with that? I just said you won 20 games. What you want me to do? You won 20 games. You won 20 games. We're going against the Warriors.
Okay, here, hold on.
We're going against the Thunder, and we're going against LeBron.
I'm been going too long.
Listen,
how about this?
Robin Lopez, put on your one piece and come on, have a seat on this bench.
Wrap it up, Dre. What you got?
Have a seat on this bench.
Maybe what the league is trying to tell them is, we know you're trying to tank.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Hold on. We know you're trying to tank.
I know that sounds crazy.
God damn it, don't make it so obvious. That's all they're telling them. We know you're doing it. It's very obvious you're doing it. But don't make it so obvious to the people that we get to buy our product.
So you're okay with them playing Lopez about 12 minutes and then him not playing the rest of the game?
I don't give a damn if they never play him. I'm just telling you what the NBA feels. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. But I'm speaking from the NBA. They say he has to play, right? He played. Are you okay with how he played?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Because it's really just about the visual of it.
Right.
The NBA, they know teams are tanking. That's why they changed the whole rules with the draft now. They know this is what guys are doing. They just don't want it to be so overt. Like, don't flip your nose at the whole thing. Like, they don't want another Philly. Like, Philly was flipping their nose at the whole process for 5 straight years. They don't want that anymore. And they didn't want to watch the Bulls try to do it either by taking guys that they know are healthy and they are, potentially better basketball players and just deciding you're not going to play them.
And by the way, just to piggyback on that idea, I remember I was like, man, okay, so we talk about the Bulls, right? Go in the future, just all these salary cap and have all this money to spend. I was like, didn't they have a rule where you have to spend a minimum amount of money through the year? You had a floor, right? And I was like, okay. So I was like, I thought they tried to stop teams from like being broke basically and being able to like, not spend money for the year to improve their team. So I looked online and I found out there's a rule. You have to spend the minimum with $189 million, $99 million, something like that. It was 89 million, 189, something like that. But you don't get punished for it though, at all. So you have teams like Philadelphia with no kind of salary, paid no kind of salary at all.
Okay.
So basically, they're kind of double talking when you're not forced to spend your money.
That money
and the punishment is, well, you go the whole year, meaning the minimum.
Yeah,
if you don't meet the minimum, the money gets dispersed, the difference. So like, there's no punishment for it at all. I'm like, wow, really, NBA? But
it's true. Go ahead, Dre.
Yeah, but ain't nobody really looking into that except people who are really into it. Like, you can't see a salary cap. You can see Robin Lopez sitting on the bench.
If I knew AR glasses, I would be able to see the.
Why is this big ass motherfucker out there dribbling the ball?
He makes no difference.
He doesn't.
He doesn't make any difference out there to whether his team is good or bad. And that's the problem I have. He makes no difference. You don't sit there. They didn't sit there and get mad at Memphis when we played Memphis just a few days ago and they benched Marc Gasol in the fourth quarter. They didn't have nothing to say about that. There was nothing to say.
Did he play?
In the fourth, he didn't play 1 minute.
He played like three quarters.
Did he play the game?
Oh, stop
it. He played 3 quarters more than Lopez.
Stop it.
He played the game?
It's going to be a new stat.
I'm not arguing with your premise. I'm just telling you what they're thinking. It's all about the
Who's
vision.
the better player? Who you think is more important than their team? Who you think is more important than their team?
The MTL stat.
No, who's more important? Who's more important? Marc Gasol or Robin Lopez?
Marc Gasol, but I mean, he tried to help his team win for 3 quarters. It didn't happen. That's it.
See, y'all know that sounds good because I don't know how many minutes he played.
No, that's what the league got what we wanted. They had a star play for 3 quarters.
I don't know if he played 3 quarters.
They had a product on the floor in which he turned on the shadow.
I don't know
if you saw your star player play a lot of minutes.
He played a lot of minutes. Let's just say he played some minutes.
Listen, I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm gonna look it up. I have to see how many minutes he played.
And the fans and everybody was happy.
Who was happy? Who was happy watching Memphis and the?
I guess
the
people.
Silverman was happy, man.
I watched it. I wasn't happy.
Okay, no.
Dre, were you happy? Did you see the game?
Was I happy? No, the Bulls won, so I was not happy. I was happy that the 3 guys that I've talked about played well. I was not happy about the Bulls winning. No,
it was not a happy case, but we saw them. Let me ask you before we get out of here. We're talking about the Bulls. In the draft, do you think the Bulls need, because a lot of the Bulls fans here feel we need a top 3 seed to get a transcendent player to be great. I keep saying, what if we already drafted one? And Chris keeps saying, why can't we have both? Do you feel
I would love to have both?
But my question is, do you feel the Bulls need a top 3? Or do you feel like you're okay with a top 10?
I'm okay with the top 10. There's enough talent in the draft for like a top 10 to be good, depending on who the player is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't want Doncic. I know I don't want him. Like I want them to avoid that problem. But I mean, there's some other guys out there that they can get. I think one of the things we need is a big guy to play with marketing, defensive dude, run the floor. We need one of those guys. So there's a couple of those guys out there that I've been looking at that could potentially fit that role. So I don't know if they need a top 3 pick, but damn, it would be nice, wouldn't it? It'd be great. It'd be awesome. They don't need it to be good. I think the Bulls are going to be good regardless of that.
Yeah, I'm happy with top 10. It's shown in NBA that you can find good players, man. Not in the top 10. You have to get lucky, and but it can happen. So top 10, I'm not going to cry over it. Bulls are going to have a lot of money, and they want to trade some of these guys. We got a lot of pieces. We got a lot of pieces. You got shooters on the team. You can trade people for money or some more draft picks or whatever. So we got some trade pieces going forward too as well. So
could I ask you guys a question?
Sure.
do you get as annoyed as I do when the Bulls win a game? How everybody on like Bulls Twitter, I can't believe they won this game. The draft pick slot is like everybody's losing their mind. We need to lose all these games. I'm trying to figure out if Bulls bloggers and Bulls, you know who I'm talking about. You know the bloggers.
Mm-hmm.
You know the ones.
Yeah.
Did they expect the Bulls to lose every single game
Preach.
this season?
Preach.
Like, did they expect every game to be a loss? I'm not sure.
Say it.
Nobody like so every time they win a game, well, this dropped us a half a percentage point behind Memphis for the 7th pick. And like, get the hell out of here. You know, I am a fan of statistics, but I really believe that stat nerds have ruined the game of basketball.
Hallelujah.
Absolutely, positively ruined it.
Ruined it.
Because every single thing has become about percentages and all of this crap that, you know, okay, I understand it. I understand how it works. I'm an accountant. I know how numbers work. But I'm just tired of hearing about how every win is bad for the get the hell out of here. Like, they're not losing every game. No team is losing every game. Please stop telling me about how they're losing out on a draft pick or a draft that we don't even know who the hell the draft pick is going to be. And I'm tired of hearing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Please stop Bulls bloggers. And I don't mean Bulls blogger in general. Like, I'm not saying I don't want to, you know, I'm not talking shit about nobody. I'm talking about all of y'all. If any of you say this, please stop.
Wow.
Please stop. You're annoying.
Yes.
Every last one of you are annoying.
Yikes. Preach it. You better preach it, preacher. That's Dre. See, again, I'm gonna need you to get out of my brain. I completely hate this. I hate the fact. Listen, before the season started, I said the Bulls. We both, Chris and I, were both in absolute agreement because we have eyes that the Bulls were gonna be terrible. We knew this, but I said when we asked the question, how many games? I said 25. Chris said 30 plus. Both of us, Chris, when they won that 7 in a row, or how many of it, whatever they won in a row, they looked like they were on the way, and Chris was about to look like a genius. So he was on point.
He was on point for a while there.
But now they looking like the 25-win team that I thought they were going to be. And that's not against what Chris said. You know what I'm saying? Because I only thought they, win 10 games less. People are arguing about the Bulls like they're supposed to be in the playoffs. This is what I said at the beginning. This is what I'm talking about. They're arguing about, but I'm Chris. I ain't saying they think they are. I'm saying they're arguing about them.
Like it matters.
Like this shit matters. This is a 20-win basketball team. And you're asking a team with a 7-foot dope-ass rookie, with Zach LaVine, with a Chris Dunn as your main three to go and not win 20 basketball games. Those 3 dudes will get you 20 basketball wins. How don't you think that won't get you 20 basketball wins? These dudes out here want 10, 8. That is a travesty. I watched the Bulls team that won like 10 or 8 games. It was the worst experience of my life watching basketball outside of going to see in the WNBA. That was one of the worst experiences ever. That team was horrific. You saw it. They were terrible. I didn't want to see a Dickie Simpkins-led Bulls team. Dickie Simpkins out here leading your team with 19 points. They were horrific. And we saw this team and we're like, 25 wins. Okay, 25 wins to get you a lottery pick. Bull fans out here like, no, not good enough because the analytics show us if they had lost this game to Dallas, we would have a better chance of getting number 3. When analytics showed me, you can kiss my monkey ass because that is the dumbest thing I ever heard. Stop this stuff, man. This
you already know it.
25-win team, period.
You know it's going to happen. It is going to happen on draft night. They're going to bring up some win against some team over 500 that happened in fucking November.
Right.
It's going to happen.
It's gonna happen. Well, if the Bulls had lost to Memphis, they had a 4.6 probability of getting. You got a 4.6 probability of me putting my foot in your ass.
They won't. They want Dunn to average like 20 points, Levine to average 30 points, and Laurie Market to average 25 and lose.
Right, and lose.
Yes.
Right, and lose, Chris, and lose. You want to have 2 dudes score 30 and 1 dude score 25 and have a loss. That's rare.
It's actually a good thing because knowing going forward, you have talent on your team.
Right. But how rare is that?
Yeah.
How rare is that you got 2 30-point scores and a 25-point score with 9 assists? Then you're going to be losing.
You can't have everything, dude.
Listen, right. That's what I'm saying. The last game, when I saw Laurie Markkinen, because one of the things Chris and I keep saying about Laurie Markkinen, he's got to be more demanding of the basketball. He got that ball. When he shot the same amount of field goals Zach LaVine, which was 14, the Bulls won the game.
Mm-hmm.
The last game they just played against Detroit, when he topped 12, they lost the game. We're just talking, those are the basketball numbers I need. I don't need the analytics out here sitting here saying, well, the probability of them getting, because they talk about the NBA draft like it's the NFL draft.
See, all that's
like
nonsense.
It matters about how many losses you have. It don't matter.
But that's nonsense anyway.
It's a lottery
because it's like games left. So every game it changes. It's not going to stay the same
because it's a lottery. Yes, it's a lottery, bro. It's a lottery.
That's why I stay on Twitter, by the way. Because like,
regardless of Twitter. I'm talking about I read articles.
Yeah.
This is shit that is printed. He said bloggers. He didn't say Twitters.
True, very true.
He said bloggers.
Yeah.
These are people who have this in print.
You put someone on the
like,
website.
I read this stuff all the time, and like I just look at headlines, and it's not just about like the Bulls and the draft. It's just about basketball in general. You know what I'm saying? Like basketball, like they've made basketball feel clinical.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel as fun. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
No,
basketball isn't as fun to me anymore because it's always about a bunch of other shit, and I don't like that.
Well, then you need to turn them off and hang with us some more, Dre.
Yeah, because it's funny. I was telling Dave, I was like, Dave, I like watching the Indiana Pacers play. So they play a fun brand of basketball.
They really do.
And it dawned on me, and I was talking to them. I said, you know why? Because the whole offense isn't geared around them shooting 83s a game.
Right.
Dude, I was just about to say that. God damn it. I'm like, dude, like the Houston Rockets, I love them. I love them for what they're doing. I don't like the way they're doing it. Mm-hmm. Like, well, we know threes are worth more, so we're just going to shoot threes and layups and fucking free throws. That is boring. It's absolutely boring.
With a capital B.
And you know what? Championships won. A lot of championships won playing that way. More championships were won playing the other way.
Right.
You can still win that way.
People act like they're trying to change it up, man. Like you can still win with a dude who's dominant in the post, who's 7 feet tall and better than you. They're not. That's why I was so mad. That's why I'm still mad at New Orleans, because they had 2 7-footers on their team and were barely making the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean,
and then they added a 3rd 7-footer in Nico Mirotic, and they still were having struggle problems. They're doing better now. Of course, they won like 8, 9 in a row.
Anthony Davis is gone
right,
Super Saiyan God level.
Come on now, because he does that, and he's doing this later in the year than he usually does, because he had a 7-footer in the first half of the year who was doing what he's doing now.
Right.
Because DeMarcus Cousins was putting up Wilt Chamberlain joints.
Yeah, he was.
You know what I'm saying? So he ain't had to worry about that. And then he had a guy coming off the bench in Nico, who's great coming off the bench. Not if he's your guy. He's great coming off the bench. But he had this, and they were out here balling, doing their thing. And people were out here talking. And I'm looking at this team, and I'm like, Chris, why ain't they better? Like, that's all I'm sitting here. Like, why aren't they better? This 9 in a row that they should have had in like November. They should have had it in December.
I agree. Every team in the NBA has had a 9-9. I think pretty much every team in the NBA this year had a 10.
You got Rajon Rondo running your point.
10 win row.
He ain't trying to shoot. He's just trying to get 40. He had 25 assists this year. He had 25 assists game.
Yeah.
Come on, man. We trying to play ball, brother. We trying to play ball. These cats out here don't want to play no ball. They want to read the analytics out here.
The analytics. They want to look at the per and the damn wins per 48 or wins per 36.
I cannot stand plus minuses. There was a NBA team that was like, well, Durant scored. He had 40 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists.
Right.
And he was a minus like 30 or something.
Right.
I'm like, yeah. He said, well, that tells me the other team had a good game. I'm like, no, tells me plus minus is bullshit. Right. Stop looking at the plus minuses.
You know what will happen is somebody will listen to this and think we don't understand how the numbers work. Nobody on this show is fucking stupid. We know how it works. we think too much stock is being put into it, and it's making the game boring. Like I deal with numbers all goddamn day. You think I want to go and watch a basketball game and I'm looking at fucking ones and zeros like I'm Neo? I don't want to see that shit. I want to watch a basketball game and I want to be entertained.
Yes,
that's all I want.
You want to see a 2-guard that is play like a regular 2-guard in the 90s? Watch the Indiana Pacers, man.
There it is. And watch Reggie Miller get out there and do his damn thing. Reggie Miller is 3 for 20, but he's still getting the ball in the fourth. That's all I know.
Before the season started, y'all talked about Oladipo.
Yes,
and I said something. I said something about him.
I was on the side early in his career.
He was talking shit about Scotty.
I wasn't though.
I was.
Okay.
I was. I liked him from the beginning.
I like Oladipo, but he was talking shit about Scotty.
Yes,
he was.
And I told him that he needed to be. I told him he wasn't even the best player on his team. Hey, that boy's balling.
Are you balling?
That boy is balling. I can't say nothing bad about him. I love watching him play.
I do
too. Still can't say shit about Scottie Pippen. Keep his goddamn mouth.
No, he's still disrespectful, and he needs to be reprimanded for his disrespectfulness. But you know, we recognize a baller when we see it.
Yeah, he one of the best creative finish. Like to me, there's not many people in the NBA who finish. I mean, there's Kyrie Irving, but like 2 guards who create like kind of like Jordan and Clyde did. Went to the paint. You know what kind of layup they're going to shoot.
Right.
Oladipo, every game when I watched him play, he did something creative.
Right.
Left-handed, reverse, off the glass, falling out of bounds.
Right.
Like he meant to do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like accidental.
Right.
It was like I'm creating this funky finger roll reverse shot
funky
around the rim,
and
it's gonna look nice. I'm like, wow, that's like, damn, that's a shot. It wasn't on accident. It was on purpose.
Right.
It looked cool.
Right.
So,
Right.
Yeah, I was hard on Depot. So I thought I was gonna see this kind of player coming out of Orlando, and I was hoping that it would come out in OKC. It didn't, but I was coming out in Indiana, and it's wonderful to see him play and hit some big shots for them constantly. He's the man on that team, and it's fun to watch.
It's very fun to watch. Dre, let me ask you before we get out of here about this playoff seeding going on. You know, the playoffs will be here in a few weeks. Want to know what you honestly feel about Cleveland. Do you feel LeBron can be taken down this year in the East?
Yeah, I do. It has nothing to do with LeBron. I mean, a little bit to do with LeBron because he's great. But you know, Father Time is undefeated. He sustained greatness for periods of time. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. I don't think he's going to be able to drag this team. Because when they first got these guys and they were winning, doing all this winning, and everybody's like, "Yeah, the Cavs are back." And we did a podcast, and I was like, I want to see a little bit because when the season started, that team was whooping ass too. Yes. And then it fell back to earth real quick. And that's kind of what happened to this team. They came out, it was like the honeymoon period, and then they fell back down to earth. And once again, it takes LeBron doing an extreme amount of heavy lifting for that team to be competitive. And I don't know. I think Toronto might be able to beat them.
Even with Love, do we know when Love's coming back?
But the playoffs, he'll be back for the playoffs.
Okay, so how big a difference do you think Love would make? Does that change our game a little bit if Love comes back and plays well?
I mean, how good has Kevin Love really been with them?
20 and 10.
He's been okay. But a lot of what he does has been marginalized because, where he plays and where LeBron plays, and then they had Kyrie Irving. We have to see because it was a pretty significant injury once again with him. I don't know, man. I think with the way that Toronto plays now, they have the best chance of beating them. And I think if Gordon Hayward hadn't got hurt, I think Boston would have been able to beat them too. This team just isn't good. That's a big problem.
Here's the thing about Toronto and the playoffs. What I learned in the playoffs, if you have the bet, well, number one, yeah, I don't have. I don't know what you said, but I know it's something I found funny. Yeah, Kyle Lowry or whatever. And but generally, if you have a better player on the other side, he wins.
Generally, yeah.
And so even though I don't have any faith in Toronto, and I don't have any faith Kyle Lowry is going to suddenly play great in the playoffs because he never does. And I see, okay, I got LeBron, Kyle Lowry. I'm like, LeBron's better.
LeBron is definitely better.
And I'm like,
how much better are those other guys? Oh yeah, they got to prove it. I just want to see how those other guys are going to play in the playoffs because right now the Cavaliers are in a world of trouble with that roster. They just aren't good.
And it's funny with the roster beforehand. Even though I applaud the trade, I thought it was a hell of a trade because athletic players. I remember thinking like you said before, they won a big run early in the season. I remember thinking even if they didn't make the trade, I was like, you know what? At some point they might get it together and like be a threat. It might not win the championship, but it still be good. It may look differently winning. It may not look as pretty, or athletic, or aesthetically pleasing. But eventually, they probably still win some games with that team they had before. But they made the trade or whatever, and we'll see what's going to happen. Yeah.
It's hard for me to disagree with anything you all just said. I really don't disagree. I actually, like I said, Dre has been in my brain all day long, and I completely agree with him about the Celtics. But Chris, I've been saying this about the Celtics before the season started.
Yeah, not big on the Celtics.
I'm sorry, not the Celtics, the Cavaliers. I've been saying about the Cavs all season long how I wasn't completely sure about their dominance this year.
Mm-hmm.
For the past 7 years, I've been sure. When he was in Miami, I was sure. I was like, oh yeah, they're going. There's no doubt about it. This is the first year where I said I'm not 100% accurate.
Yeah, first year
them making the NBA Finals. And I remember Tone, shout out to Tone, Feast is Famine. I remember he told me, yo, you crazy. He kept saying that to me, like, man, you nuts. Of course he's gonna make it. And as the season started going on, he was like, oh shit, you might be right. You know what I'm saying? It was like, maybe you're right. Here's the thing, and I told you this, Chris, because I called you when this trade happened.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when the Cleveland trade, when Cleveland got all those players, when they got Jordan Clarkson, when they got Larry Nance, when they got everybody. I called Chris and I said, Chris, I couldn't understand why I kept feeling like this wasn't a great trade, because everybody kept telling me this was a great trade.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody kept saying this is an awesome trade. This is the one. Now this is going to propel them to the Eastern Conference Finals and to the NBA Finals. They kept saying that. And I figured it out. And I called Chris and I told him the reason I don't feel this way is because every time I've seen LeBron James be great, and every time I've seen LeBron James get to an NBA Finals, he's had a clear-cut number 2 dude who was an all-pro all the time. And this is the first time looking at this team, I'm like, who's the number 2 all-pro dude? I don't see
Jordan Clarkson.
That's what I'm saying.
Kevin Love.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I asked about Kevin Love, because Kevin Love will be that dude.
That's not a clear-cut number 2 dude, because he ain't been that since I've seen him in Cleveland.
Well, okay, let me ask you this then.
He ain't been the dude.
Lowry,
LeBron said I could take a rest.
Lowry or Kevin Love?
Kyle Lowry or Kevin Love?
Yeah. That's your number 2 battle.
They cancel each other out.
Healthy Kevin Love, but this isn't a healthy Kevin Love. I don't know.
They kind of cancel each other out, bro. Like, seriously.
Then there's LeBron.
LeBron's better than everybody.
Yeah, I mean,
like, I'm not saying that.
That's on a completely different plane.
Right. That's not what I'm arguing. I'm not arguing LeBron.
I'm just going.
Different.
Hello?
Hey, Dre, you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still with you.
Okay.
Hold on a second. We're static.
Well, no, I got it. I'm just saying.
No, you might be recording this stuff.
Yeah, I'm still recording.
Oh, do you have static?
All right. You hear static? I don't hear any.
You don't hear it?
No.
Hey, Dre, let me unplug the USB real quick. Plug it back in.
I don't know. I don't know if it was me. I'm gonna mute myself if it's me. I muted myself. Did you guys hear me? Did you still hear the static? Oh, you did say it. I'm fucking.
Change the microphone. Yep, the settings changed.
Okay.
No, it didn't. I'm good.
Good.
Can you
heard that?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Oh, okay.
We thought you lost a second.
Yo, we was just talking to you for like a minute. Like we ain't hear shit, bro.
Oh shit, I can hear you now.
I'm glad you ain't hang up, brother.
I'm gonna record it till you guys do your outro and tell me you done.
Okay, yeah, we about to be up out of here then, since it's fucked up. Might as well call it a day. Okay. All right.
What are we talking about?
I don't remember. That's why I never
talking about LeBron and Kevin Love and Toronto.
Brian, Kevin Love, and Toronto.
DeRozan and LeBron.
Bless you, sir.
Thank you. All right, we good. All right. Count me in, please.
3, 2, and ball.
We want to thank Dre from According to Sources for coming on our show today. Dre, please let the people know.
Thanks for having
Please let the Please let the people know where they can check you out at, bro.
You can find me at the According to Sources podcast, according to sources at gmail.com. If you have questions, the ETMF Podcast Network. I do a bunch of podcasts. I do everybody's podcast on ETMF Podcast Network. And I'm frequently a guest on other people's podcasts as well. So, you can find me in a number of different places. I'm always trying to have a podcast out, either mine or someone else's, like Balls.
Yes. And also, at the end of this month, I believe on April 1st, we're going to have a Ball on Bulls, According to Sources podcast, where we discuss the end of the year of the Chicago Bulls. That's going on.
I
So
hope you don't plan on talking to Chris about like anything past 2005, because
I'm just talking about the season, bro. I'm just talking about the season.
All right. Okay.
If we fall into anything, I mean, who knows? We might fall into Mike, but I have no problem with schooling.
You don't know what the hell you're talking about, man.
Well, you got to teach them. You got to teach the babies. That's how the babies learn, brother. You got to teach them. So we down for teaching. Thank you.
I've been trying for 2 years with Chris. I don't know.
I mean, I'm not trying to force it on. If he don't want to accept it, he ain't got to accept it. But it's gonna be said. it's gonna come on out. You know what I mean? It's gonna happen, man. Right here on Ball on Bulls on ballsports.com. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at ballsports.com. Tune in media, iTunes, Stitcher.com. You can subscribe to us for free on iTunes,
Google Play,
and Google Play Podcasting.
Yes. Like you heard, you hit us up also on www.ballsports.com. That's ballsports.com, BAWL sports.com. Also, if like what you heard, we could donate to the site, donate to the podcast. There's a blue donate button at the top of the website, top right corner. We donated $1 or $2. We really appreciate it. We thank all those who have donated so far. We thank you for being dedicated fans. We thank you for listening to the last podcast, which had bad audio, but you suffered through it.
Word.
Yay. And so we enjoy what we do. So you find value from the show, donate $1 or $2. We really appreciate it. If you can't do that, we understand. Spread the word. Tell your friends that you like listening to Ball on Bulls.
On behalf of C-Dub, a.k.a. Chris, on behalf of Dre from According to Sources, I am Big Dave. This is Bow. Shout out to Alabama for winning. Did you see the last second shot Alabama did? You know what I'm saying? Well, shout out to Alabama on the last second joint, man. They can't. Nobody. They were ranked eighth. I believe ninth. No, I'm sorry, ninth. They were a 9th seed.
Okay,
and they won at the buzzer.
Oh.
So they get to go do their thing, man. And we're rooting for Avery Johnson. You better believe we're rooting for Avery Johnson out here, man. This is what our show is built around. Avery, what's up? Holla at us. Bow on Bulls. We'll see y'all next week. Y'all be cool.
Oh, wait a minute. I just got an email. It said FedEx just emailed me.
What
it said your Rookie of the Year trophy has been transferred to Canada.
Oh,
everybody going
damn Canadians.
What's going on?
Damn Canadians, man.
We're
sorry, Dre. We're sorry about that. You know, Drake Drake just released God Plan. He has a new song out. That's probably where it's getting caught up at. You know what I mean? Those things happen.
Well, if Drake wants to give me a couple $1 million, I'm all for it. I'll let
I don't think Drake's daddy wants to give you a couple $1 million.
I don't know if he has it.
Hey! And that's what we say. Peace.